can you do something for me?
21.
Drop some bars to my pussy ex for me. Then 21, can you do something for me? Can you talk to the ops next for me?
Okay.
21, do your thing. 21, do your thing. Do your thing, 21.
Yellow diamonds in the watch. This shit costs a lot. Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Spin the same hood where I get my dick sucked.
Hey, sticks and stones, chrome on chrome. That's just what a nigga on. Internet clones, got them kissing through the phone. Pussies clicking up so they don't feel alone. Hey. Man, niggas seeing me, I'm young money CMB. I used to roll with CMG, the house is not a B&B. The bad bitches waiting on a nigga like I'm P&D. I'm steady pushing P, you niggas pushing PTSD. I told her ass to kiss me in the club, fuck a TMZ. I used to want a GMC when what was doing B&E. We revving up and going on a run like we DMC. I lay up with her for a couple days, then it's BRB. Rappers love asking if I fuck when you know he did. Well, you know he did. She came in heels, but she left out on a cozy shit. Hey, I'm living every 24 like Kobe did. Shout out to the 6, RIP to 8. Swear this shit is getting 8. I'm on 10 for the cake. Get a lot of love from 12, but I don't reciprocate. 51 division, stay patrolling when it's late. 21, my Eddie, so the knife is on the gate. All the dogs eating off a Baccarat plate. Niggas see Drake and they underestimate. Take it from a vet, that's a rookie-ass mistake.
Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Put your hands in the air, it's a sticker. Spin the same hood where I get my dick sucked.
Gotta throw a party for my day ones. They ain't in the studio, but they'll lay some. Rest in peace, the drama king. We was straight stunned. If I let my nigga 21 tell it, you a pussy. Spin a block twice like it ain't nowhere to park. Smack the back side of his head like he barked. OVO for well, we come out when it get dark. Big stepper, he came in the rose, but he left in the stretcher. Let my brother drive while I shoot, team effort. Asking all these questions, bitch, you must think you Nadeska. The chopper like to fill on all the options of molester. I be with my gun like Rose be with lemon pepper. She wanna hear some Afro beats cause she just popped a Tesla. All that working out, that nigga must think he a wrestler. But this ain't UFC, this chopper came with a compressor. This chopper came with a compressor. This chopper came with a, this Glock 4-5 came with a switch. If I was Will Smith, I would've slapped him with a stick.
Started off last week, it was all good. Watching Russell, LeBron James on the hardwood. Shawty told me to fuck her face, so it's all good. Bitch, it ain't no way I done win Hollywood. My hoes all good, I fuck them all good. My credit all good, bitch, I'm always good. My pockets all good, my mama still straight. A bakery chef, how I been flipping all this cake.
I got 20 watches off bust down, say none of my shit plain.
I got 20 watches off plain Jane and I bulletproof my range. I got 20 bust down watches, wanna could've went about me on plane. You don't got business mind and you ain't killed nothing, ain't no sense stressing my gang. You can't turn mud into diamonds, then you won't feel my pain.
So I used to sell drugs, the Glock 5 shit, you don't know how far I came.
I'm a real street nigga, I'm on that for these millions, I play lame.
Fuck how they feelin', nigga, I made it. Get what you want, bitch, when I'm paying. Goddamn, grams 10. Got about a quarter M in that van. I ain't doing shit but serving them J's, and we still ducking them rays.
You jumping in that water, nigga, you just like me. I'm switching sides, I be with boss niggas who just like me. You from Detroit, got a line on dog food, you just like me. You want a jet plane with a check, nigga, you just like me. A street nigga with finesse, dog, you just like me. You know how to play around with that fat, nah, you just like me. Stand outside, just like me. Told 100 round, just like me. Slang choppers, you outside, just like me. Plain white, bust down, just like me. Paying cash, ain't got no leash, nigga, you just like me. You tryna rap, get out the streets, nigga, you just like me. You love that bitch, but you can't trust a dog, you just like me. You hustle hard to get a new Alpha 1, you just like me. You putting switches on your Glock, nigga, you just like me. You ready to die behind your Glock, just like me, yeah. Just like me, you ready to die behind your Glock, just like me, yeah.
If I don't pour certain lines, bro, I just can't sleep. He bought the demon, then the lamb, nigga, just like me. You out here rich, for your fam, nigga, just like me. He went the bricks from the gram, nigga, just like me.
Stand outside, just like me. Told 100 round, just like me. Slang choppers, you outside, just like me. Plain white, bust down, just like me.
Ain't put no cap inside my rap, ain't too much leading you on. My little youngin' ready to slide, he listen to shiesty all day. Everybody in the supercharge, I know we getting away. She want me to come inside of who? I nutted in her face. I don't like to go too many places, I run shit in the A. Get a hotel for a year straight, ain't no pull up where I stay. I know bitches who set niggas up, yeah. I know niggas who bet bitches too, yeah. I been in 100 million moves, life is real, let her pop a pill, she enjoy herself. Bad bitch, put them in the ring, they go below the belt, no referee. Ain't no stopping me, I'm tryna take it down. The only problems I'm having in life is which watch I'm well. I grew up on that taking shit, I don't know how to steal, I ain't with all that fake shit. I'd rather keep it real, you mad at me about a bitch who fucking both of us. I went and ran my money up, I swear it's over for him. I done gave my feelings up, I don't know who to trust. She coming up missing at the spot, I don't know who to bust. She my gangster bitch, I gave her racks and told her stash that. Love it when you throw it back like, damn, you know that ass fat. You know I'm a blast back, you know I'm way past that. So why you acting like it's something that it wasn't? She know how to make me mad, I swear this bitch push every button. I know how to run up cash, I swear I'm getting hella money, real spill. Slide my Rolls Royce through the hood, that shit look good like right on. Get your own salon, your hair done when you want from now on. Tell the police I don't do nothing, I've been selling these songs. Ain't put no cap inside my rap, ain't too much leading you on. Slide my Rolls Royce through the hood, that shit look good like right on. Get your own salon, your hair done when you want from now on. Tell the police I don't do nothing, I've been selling these songs. Ain't put no cap inside my rap, ain't too much leading you on.
DJ Noise!
Them niggas get on y'all ass, y'all play with me like it ain't worse. Tryna gossip other blocks like y'all ain't said my name first. He a junkie, he ain't shot his gun, yeah, he blame perks. Shot a video and had a shootout in the same shirt. What you know about popping out and trying to hit they face first? They like smirk your ass be tripping, better put your case first. Choking who? I heard the rumors, niggas better play slow. I don't want no niggas who you catch, I want the one I pay for. We on this ass, he in the A, you see how long they stay for. Ain't no hotel room, we pop outside the height with Dracos. Hellcats, they get off any scene, the police chase those. Trolling ass, we shot your homie, we ain't know he can take those. If I say your name, don't post it, I be on all kind of shit. Ain't got time to watch your page to see if niggas die to shit. I know bitches set you up, literally niggas down to hit. In this industry ain't what it seem, this shit be counterfeit. Ain't no lacking, she say I'm a nigga from the trenches with an accent. Why you asking me who shot your homie, why you asking? You got my number, you post shit on the gram, you moving backwards. You lucky you don't be doing shit for the gram, you niggas can't. I bleed no rumors, rest in peace to Cooper. I jumped on the school bus and I hit Brongaruga. Always drunk a A to act, I never drunk a cooler. They get your location, they might pop outside in Ubers. When his goofy ass jumped in the streets, his ass a hooper. I know this shit don't matter, I took a shower with a cougar. Bring him out retirement, he gon' kill you for that moolah. Catch him in the morning, wake him up, that boy a rooster.
He took it to trial, I tried to tell him it was stupid. They gave him so much time, his knees got weak and he was woozy. Watch the shit you say, the feds be listening to the music. And they gon' take your lyrics and build a case and try to use it. DA dropped my murder, didn't have evidence to prove it. I think my house is honey up by who the ghost of Pookie. He ain't killed nobody but keep rapping about the shooting. Still ain't got revenge yet but keep making up excuses. Cause then drunk so much lean that his gut got big as school. Told him quit while he ahead and don't go out like Whitney Houston. He got caught without it, now they robbing him for his rubies. He wouldn't give it up so he got buried in his Cuban.
Then I bleed no rumors, rest in peace to Cooper. I jumped on the school bus and I hit Brongaruga. Always drunk a A to act, I never drunk a cooler. They get your location, they might pop outside in Ubers. When his goofy ass jumped in the streets, his ass a hooper. I know this shit don't matter, I took a shower with a cougar. Bring him out retirement, he gon' kill you for that moolah. Catch him in the morning, wake him up, that boy a rooster.
Now this the hot shit, Jimmy Snooker off the top rope, super fly shit. I get in the tub with all my ice on some pop shit. Either way you slice it, bottom line, I'm the top bitch. You should know I rock it twisted, it ain't even out yet. All this jewelry at the grocery store, I'm obnoxious. Bought a home and closing on another, I know I'm blessed. Everybody wanna be gang, ain't no spots left. Bad bitch contest, it wouldn't be a contest.
Ooh, smoking dope.
I'm connected, I don't know what's longer, man, my block list on my checklist. I don't know what's colder, man, my heart on my necklace. Pretty when I wake up, I'm a bad bitch at breakfast. Still might slide on the op.
It's electric.
Hating didn't work, so they lied. These bitches looking hurt and they fried. I know they wouldn't miss them if they died. Tell them move. New Chanel on my body, it's a boost. I'm so poppin', I don't ever gotta get introduced.
that drop location, drop a op music. Man, this ain't for them niggas in the house, this shit for Glock you. And don't talk down on Tridges hoes who known to be a cock you. It's that pill talk. Gotta bust his head, he cut on op music. Who said you game? Who said you could come around this bitch and hang? And I fucked your baby mama, and I ain't say a thing. Just came outside in 2020, pull up in that 21. I pick my side, switches fully, and I'ma die for 21. I got plenty cars, I hit plenty stars, and then it come. I said it plenty times, I pay for bodies, I ain't pay for none. You think I'm finna leave my bitch for you? She fuck Future too. I know that Vaughn hit her, she put up on my block and Jimmy Choo. Schmirk.
Ooh, checks coming fast, sound like swoosh. Ooh, give him to them straight, 100 proof. I thought I killed you hoes before, it must be deja vu. It's either that or I'm catching body number 2.
Piggy swear you ain't scared when you heard yeah appear. I'ma hop about the bushes, me and Pusha kill your man. I'm just saying I start to get used to the pain. Till one day I said, fuck it, brought my masseuse on the plane. Why you playing? Reaching the game, lose a hand. Where you stand? Where was Jay at? Where was them at? Where he done that? Where he live at? Another headline, where you had at? Nigga go home, where your kids at? They be on my nerve, they be on my nerve. When we lost Verge, I was on the verge. I just hit the Louis store, had to splurge. We just made a silent movie with no words. Guess who topping now? God got me now. Guess who at Balenciaga? Guess who shopping now? They can't stop me now. I've been popping now. Cardi, where your sister at? I need Henny now. I flew in and out, 150,000. Now even when they shout, gotta shout me out. So ahead, go ahead. Not even close. All of y'all is number 2.
Ooh, checks coming fast, sound like swoosh. Ooh, give him to them straight, 100 proof. I thought I killed you hoes before, it must be deja vu. It's either that or I'm catching body number 2. Ooh, checks coming fast, sound like swoosh. Ooh, give him to them straight, 100 proof. I thought I killed you hoes before, it must be deja vu. It's either that or I'm catching body number 2.
For the other shit, I'm going for the win. Pulled up with that bitch, then pulled off with a friend. How he get that shit, just know he got it in. Gave my partner 50 cents, he shot man and man. If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? Then I drop that pen, we gon' spin again. I'ma spin, we gon' slide. Drop that pen, pussy nigga, come outside. I been running up that check and I ain't tired. Ain't shed another tear when my grandma died. I got an all-white rose with the bloody guts inside. Think shit sweet and try. Stepping in shoes and not your size. Niggas ain't step. The back of the Maybach, I sit and recline. Think about what? And I got freaking all on my mind. And chrome the spine. What else? Chrome the 9. Then what? Bulletproof the ride. We spin the block and yell like he ain't outside. Where he at? Heard he had a wedding. He must be the bride.
Yeah, how it sound when I hit your hoe. Be like this. It be like this. Like this. I get behind your horn, then I be like this. I be like this. What you doing, Slime? Digging that pussy. Beat it back down. What we doing? In your hole. In your hole. In your hole. Slut out a freak, hit her front or back, turn the blade to D. Do the triple X when I'm in a freak. Knock a hoe to a knee. Beat her back down, bitch tryna ski. Bitch turn around, come suck the meat. Round for round, finna beat her till she sleep. Eat that pussy up, on appetite. Take her back a day like I'm on a G. Slow it down, baby, ride me like a Z. Double cub, you gon' ride me straight to sleep. 2 hoes tryna fuck me while I'm geek. Blame it on the pill when she getting beat. Going ham on her when I give her D. Going home, boy, I gotta keep it P. Gotta go home to a buddy street. Yeah, she gonna bump and boom. She gonna make that booty move. I'm in that big got that hoe in the mood. And we be kicking like something to the moon. We on some shit that we don't supposed to do. One of my bro hoes came out the ooh. I don't know, but that hoe with the ooh. Shit was leaking, ooh, juice. Shit was peachy, just like the fruit. She say that shit was fruit. I say that shit was goose. I just beat that pussy loose. Knock them walls down, all I do. Hit that hoe like 1 or 2. 3, 4 times that edit, ooh. Make me. That animate me. Look, that animate me do like that. Let me do like this. I get behind you, hoe, right? I do the headman position. And then I do like this. I do what you do. In your hoe. In your hoe. In your hoe.
bend over, come ride me like your rover. All these VVS's, it get cold in Minnesota. Suck me up, don't use your teeth, little bitch, I thought I told ya. She grabbing my bandana while I hit, cause I'm a soldier. 21. Get freaky, she got a tattoo right by her bikini that say eat me. Taught me in the demon while I hit the gas down Peachtree. Hit the club, throw a lot of money, baby, we be doing that weekly. Shh, we gotta be sneaky.
Shout out to Shaq's newest favorite rapper, Young Nudie. Yeah, how's everybody doing? No. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Welcome to the Lunch Money Show. I wasn't sure if Pete was going to be here, but he is. What's up, Pete?
First of all, I'm a professional. Of course I'm here.
Okay, good. Were you ever able to satisfy your son today at all?
No.
Okay, yeah, he seemed like he was in a bad mood this morning.
Yeah.
It's like whatever he wanted to do, he didn't want to do. He wanted to do something different. I know how that is.
Yeah. Well, it's not just today. I haven't satisfied him his entire life.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. You were like, we drove all the way down here to the beach so you could sit in the hotel room and play your iPad? No, you're staying outside.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I've been there so many times.
To an outsider, he's sitting there crying. Well, first of all, he got like suntan lotion in his eyes or something. So he's crying because of that. But to paint the picture, I'm down there live streaming at the pool. There's 50 people down there.
Right.
All right. And they all see what's going on. They all see me streaming. They know what's going on. And he's sitting there crying. It had to look like child abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. You're playing around on social media while your kid is crying at the pool. That's what it looks like to everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I get it. Anyway, trip good so far?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Vacation is supposed to be relaxing and rejuvenating. That's what they tell you. For me, it's not.
Well,
it's just not. I mean, I'm more wore out right now than I would be on any given Monday at 10 p.m.
Yeah. When I go on vacation, especially with my kids, I always come back one day sooner than I have to because you need like a day off after your vacation to rest up from your vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know how. Hey, what's the deal with no waves? Did you ever figure that out? Do they just not have waves there, like because of the direction that beach faces or something, or what? That was weird. It looked like a lake.
So that's how it looked yesterday when we got here too, and that's the way it was today. I don't know. I didn't ask anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that's just the way it is.
Anybody in the chat ever been to Pompano Beach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pete did a video today at from the ocean at Pompano Beach, and there's no waves. I'm not talking about little waves. Like, I mean, it looked like a lake. Like there was no waves at all. I've never seen that before, but I haven't been to very many different beaches or oceans, so maybe that's normal for there. I have no idea. That's on the ocean side, right? Not the Gulf side?
Yeah, the Atlantic side.
Okay, yeah, somebody asked. The Atlantic
Yeah, I don't
side.
know. And there's, you know what else there is? There's no current. Like, you know how, like, sometimes when you go out in the ocean and then you end up like 30 feet down the beach by the time you get out?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here either. I sat in the same place.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Got right out, was right back where where I got in.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. That must just be a geographic thing here. I don't know.
I've never been down that far in Florida. The furthest I've been down the Atlantic coast in Florida is Daytona. So, but I guess it's nice down there.
It is. So where I'm at is I think it's about 30 or 35 miles north of Miami. So I mean, it's basically like a suburb of Miami. But I've never been any further south than Orlando until now. I mean, I've been through the airport at Miami, but I'm talking about actually visiting somewhere.
Okay.
And yeah, it's different.
Yeah. And y'all are spending,
different.
what, a few days there and then heading across to the Keys, right?
Yeah, we're here till either Thursday or Friday. I think maybe Friday. We check out and then drive down to the Keys.
Yeah.
So I'll go through Miami
Yeah.
on the way there, and planning on stopping at Hard Rock Stadium if we have time.
Right.
Do a video from there, the Miami Ducks Stadium.
My dad went to the Keys a couple of Decembers ago for the first time. I've never been down there either, but he enjoyed it. He liked it. I'm not sure where all they went. You know, there's like 10 keys or whatever it is. Like everybody, I guess, knows Key Largo or whatever the big ones are, but there's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Key
we're
West.
going to Marathon Key, which I think is the third key. I know. I think Key Largo is the first one. I don't know what the second one is, and then I think we're staying on the third one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think
Never
there's a
been
lot
there
of
before.
long bridges that go over the ocean.
Yeah, the bridge that goes out to the Keys. I don't know how many miles it is.
I ain't got no interest in that.
You ain't got no interest in the bridge. You starting to sound like TK. You got no interest in bridges?
Not one that long over the ocean, no.
Oh.
Let me ask you this. What about, isn't there a tunnel that goes through the English Channel in England? Would you do that?
So, yeah.
I don't know if I would do
I
that
would.
either.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
I've been through the Lincoln Tunnel, which I guess goes through the Hudson River, but it's pretty short. You're not in there long. I think the one in the English Channel is pretty long. I don't know if I'll go through that or not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad y'all made it down there safe and sound. I'm sure y'all are gonna have a good time. Is Mrs. Pete able to actually be on vacation or 50-50 or what?
Well, right now it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I think she's got to work tomorrow and Wednesday some. She worked a little bit today, and then she's off. Well, supposedly off until we get back.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's rough, but let's be real. You worked 3 times today by my count. So, I mean,
yeah,
you're working
YouTube
too.
is interesting in public. I
Oh,
always
yeah,
get reminded whenever I leave my house. We sit in the confines of our house and do these YouTube videos. Whenever you go out in public, it's a whole different story.
Oh, no doubt. I talk about that all the time. I'm not comfortable walking around in public talking into my own phone like I am in my room. Like these vloggers that do that constantly, like I guess it's like anything else. You get used to it over time, but I don't do it enough to be comfortable doing it either. I always feel awkward.
Yeah, I got people looking at me right now.
Yeah.
But when I was down there doing that live stream at the pool today, everybody was staring a hole through me. As a matter of fact, when I ended the stream and I got it up, there's the guy that was sitting closest to me. I looked over to him and nodded at him. And he said, what are you, a TikToker? I said, no, I ain't a TikToker.
TikToker.
He was like 60 years old.
That's an insult to a YouTuber.
I didn't even explain to him, no, I'm a YouTuber. I just said, no, I'm not a TikToker.
Yeah. Mrs. Pete in the chat says the Big Ten is ruining y'all's vacation. No, Twitter rumors or pointless Twitter rumors are what are ruining y'all's vacation. Nothing is happening, so just enjoy yourself. Clemson's not going anywhere. Neither is Florida State, so they're going to be nothing's happening on August 15th. So you can relax.
I don't know about August 15th, but I'm not completely convinced that nothing's happening. By the way, there'll be another video about that tomorrow. Video number 3.
Well,
so
are you becoming part of the problem now?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know anything. All I'm doing is reporting what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing.
On Twitter?
That's all. No. You'll see.
Okay. I can't wait.
You'll see. Yeah.
Golden blue Pete. Pigskin golden blue man.
Listen, I'm not the only one talking about it. Shit, you're making videos about it too.
Purple and orange man.
Purple and orange man.
Whee! All right, Edward's in the back room now. This was absolutely unbelievable yesterday. By far the best show Edward's ever had. I can't wait to bring him on and get his reaction to it. What's up, Edward?
Hey, what's up, Lou? What's up, Pete?
What's up, Edward?
Edward, now that you've had about 24 hours to digest yesterday's events, what are your thoughts on your stream from yesterday?
Well, my thoughts very simple. I mean, like I said, again, I've said this. I do respect TK if this is what we're going through here. The whole thing with like me and TK for the whole stream spot or something. I mean, like I said, I've always respected her. I have no problems with her. I mean, like I said, I've always streamed at 8:00 p.m. Saturday nights when I had my old channel. I mean, it's like if TK does not believe that fact, she can ask the people who know me that I've had on the panel. And I can bet you they'll back me up. But anyway, I mean, like I said, I really didn't even want to go after. I can't believe that TK would actually clown me when I've never had any problems with her. That's the thing that really, really gets me. You know, like, why would she even clown me when I've never had a problem with her?
Right.
You know?
Well, is it true, though, that every time that she goes live, you're sitting around waiting for her to go live, and then you go live 10 minutes later just to ruin her stream?
I'm not there to ruin anything.
So it's not true, then?
Of course it's not true. Why?
Okay.
I don't. She's just saying that when I stream at 8, she comes on, and I have no problem with her. If I'm streaming at 8, she wants to come on at 8. I have no problem with it. You know, I'm not competing. I just do this because I enjoy it. You know, I'm sure TK is going to understand that I'm doing it to enjoy it. I'm not looking to steal her viewers. I mean, if I was going to steal her viewers, I would come right on her panel or be in the chat and say, hey, you know,
now you want to come on her panel?
Huh?
You want to come on her panel?
No. I said if I wanted to steal her viewers, I would have.
You would have come on her panel.
Right. And then I would have probably self-promoted without even asking her.
Right. Well, let's just take a look at just a minute or two of yesterday's events here.
Like, I don't tell you what to do on yours.
Yeah, because you don't show up. You don't show up to my stream because you're too busy streaming over me.
Oh, I actually came on one of your streams when Uncle Lou attacked Frantic Missy. Look it up.
Oh, please. Like, what? You came on my show one time? I don't even remember that.
I did. Ask BA.
He's really pissed, y'all. I pissed him off. Hey, Edward, you got to grow some thick skin, bro.
Oh, you want to see skin? You want to see skin?
No,
skin?
Please. I'm closing my
eyes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So now basically it was 2
That's
hours
what
of
she
that.
Gets.
Yeah, basically it was 2 hours of that, which was absolutely amazing.
Somehow he said, do you want to see skin, and took off his shirt. We still saw no skin. How is that possible?
Yeah, that was strange.
Well, I'm not gonna go all full, you know. I'm not gonna go the full Monty here, you know.
I get it.
That would get the channel shut down.
Right.
But what was he talking about? The Frantic Missy thing.
I'm playing it smart, and plus, if I go back to streaming, I'll be doing things different.
Frantic Missy was the weirdo from Eddie's channel
there
that
was
came on TK's stream that one time on TK's conspiracy stream or whatever.
Yeah, I know who Frantic Missy is, but he mentioned you. Did you do something to piss Frantic Missy off?
No, she went on TK's stream and said something about my dead mother.
Oh.
And so
I think I remember that. Yeah.
So then I joined the panel and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't go on the panel. I was in the chat.
All right.
I could have went on panel, but that would just make things worse. And I don't know if TK would have let me up. I would have been like this. If I went on the panel, I'd be like, all right, that's enough. I'm not going to hear this anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever violated Frantic Missy's slot or just TK's?
Are we going through this again? I thought we got this all cleared up.
Does Frantic Missy even have a slot? Does she stream?
I've never even seen her do a live stream.
Okay.
Oh.
So if she has a slot, you don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
So when is your next live stream? And do you know if that coincides with TK's slot or not?
Well, it'll be between 8 and 9 p.m. tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, which is Tuesday?
Correct.
I don't think TK streams on Tuesday.
Hold on now. What time tomorrow, you say?
No.
What time, Edward?
It'd
tomorrow?
be between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
8 and 9. So
8
right in the
p.m.
middle.
and 9 p.m.
So hold on now. Now you're messing with my slot. You know the ACC show runs from 7 to 9.
Oh, yes.
Now you're lucky I'm on vacation. Otherwise, I might get mad about this. But even if I don't do it, C-Dog might do it. So you'll be messing with his slot.
Whoa.
Again, I'm not doing this for competition. And I'm not doing it to steal viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, it's like when TK streams, it's like it's almost like when she if I'm streaming, then she streams, she's like, oh, now I can't stream anymore. I can't stream on Saturdays because now I'm going to lose viewers. Oh, come on. I mean, look, you should be happy to stream. If I'm streaming, you want to stream, I'm fine with it.
Right.
But but TK, I love you. You're great. You're a great person. I think you're cool. But you don't need to be blaming me for, like if people leave your stream to come to mine. Did I even I would have to self-promote without your permission. That's, but.
Well, do you feel like this thing with you and TK is water under the bridge now in the past?
After looking at that, which pissed me off, that saying, grow some skin. Oh, that's where she got me. I'm like, okay, you want to see growing skin? And that's why I did all that. It's my channel, so I have the right. It's like I do have the right to defend myself.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what she's mad about because was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I was watching the TK stream, and I didn't even know that you were streaming until she said it. And even after she said it, I still didn't click over to watch you. I stayed watching her. What do you think about that?
Well, like I said, I'm not bothered whoever people decide to watch.
Right.
I'm streaming, whoever watches me, fine. And then here's the thing, calling my channel or my show a clown circus. I might trash talk, yes, but that doesn't make me a clown circus. Okay? Read my about page.
Who said that?
Oh, that said what?
Called your show a clown circus.
TK.
Oh.
Huh. Is that different from a regular circus?
Well, I've been to a circus, where there's clowns and the actual clowns. You have the lions, I've been to that kind of a circus. But my show's not a clown circus.
And you don't have any interest in C-Dog's slot, right? Sir UJ wants to know.
Well, like I said, I have nothing but respect for C-Dog.
Yeah.
I think he's a great guy, and I congratulated him on winning the LouTube talent show. So I got nothing but respect for C-Dog. So if I'm doing my show between 8 and 9 on a Tuesday night during the ACC show, that's how it's going. I'm not looking to compete. I'm not looking to steal any viewers. Because it's like this. If I was going to steal viewers from Pete's show or C-Dog's show, wouldn't I be self-promoting without permission?
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Can you mute yourself when you're not talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. It's I'm sure you're outside, and I know it's at the beach, and I know it's really windy, but it was kind of loud. So, Edward, isn't this thing? It's over and done with now, isn't it?
I mean, I want this to be over and done with.
This beef isn't going to continue, is it?
I don't want it to continue.
Okay.
I want it to end.
Right.
I'm here to put an end to it.
Right. You want to end the beef.
Yes. And like I said, I have nothing but respect for TK. I've always respected her.
Right.
You know, I've never had an issue with her, never had a problem with her. I've never made fun of her health issues because I know she has them. But I'm not making fun of them. I would never do that. That's just not my style. I mean, here's another thing. Like, and I like Mrs. Cook too, but what I've discovered, this is what Battle Angel told me. This is what I heard through her, and I believe she told me this, that Mrs. Cook gets jealous of other women. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I did a stream. I was talking with Mrs. Cook, and Queen Nessie was backstage. Have her up. Queen Nessie comes up, and Mrs. Cook leaves. And I'm like, oh, well, you didn't have to leave. You shouldn't be threatened by Queen Nessie. She's not coming after me. She's not trying to date me. And she even said, oh, she's got eyes for someone else. That's like 6'4", you know? So, I mean, Mrs. Cook should not be threatened by other women. I mean, she shouldn't be jealous. I mean, yeah, I dated a girl that had jealousy when I was popular when I lived in Warm Springs. Yeah, and she got jealous because, you know, because of women. You know, can I help it if I'm popular with women?
Would you consider yourself a ladies' man?
Well, what do you mean by a ladies' man?
I mean, a smooth operator.
I'd love to consider myself that.
Right.
But I don't want to go ahead and say, oh, I am, and that pisses off someone like, and then I hear that type of stuff, you know. I will say that I'm popular with women.
Well, why do you think
But I'm confused. Why would Mrs. Cook be jealous of women on your show?
Well, like I said, I mean, this is what I heard through BA.
Well, what it is Mrs. Cook goes on your panel,
right,
Eddie, and she stays on there until another girl comes on, and then she leaves every time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we don't know why. We're guessing why.
What I've heard is that she's jealous.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I like Mrs. Cook, so
right.
You know, and I like, and you know, and this is when Queen Nessie comes up, and Mrs. Cook leaves. I'm like, oh, you didn't have to leave. You shouldn't be threatened. Queen Nessie's a nice person, you know.
Do you think maybe Mrs. Cook wanted you for herself?
I mean, who knows?
I mean, she's only human.
Yeah. But I was like, you know, I do like Mrs. Cook. She's a great person. I love to talk to her.
All right.
Yeah, I like her too. She doesn't like me though.
I find that very strange.
Well,
yeah, I do too.
I think she said yesterday the only person she likes is Crimson Brave.
Does she like Kevin?
K-Dog,
I have no idea. I guess she married him.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe she married him. Maybe she just married him for his movie collection.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and that would be interesting.
Well, Eddie, I really don't know what else to say about yesterday. It was interesting and entertaining. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I love that shit. So
yeah.
Anything like that doesn't involve me, I love it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
I know, you know.
Yes.
Maybe you're not
And like
supposed
I
to
said-
say that, or maybe that's my toxic trait. I don't know. But I love that. I love it. I absolutely, I laughed for 3 hours straight. So
Yeah, I feel like I light up the YouTube stage.
Would it be fair to call you a slot machine?
Oh,
That's-
wow.
Oh. Yeah, slot machine. Yeah, just get in the slot and take it. Yeah, well. Like I said, I'm not here to compete.
Have you ever seen a slot that you couldn't take?
Well, I've seen slot machines like when I've gone out to what do you call it, casinos.
Right.
I've seen those.
Yeah. Now, were you
like I
planning
said,
on trashing somebody today or something?
Oh, I was thinking. Well, I'm not. I'm not clowning TK. That's all. No, I'm
Okay.
not clowning TK. Because I like TK. Like I said, I never had a problem with her. So
Now,
I
you
just
did
can't
put
believe-
her in the trash can yesterday, though. I didn't show that part of the clip, but you did put her in the trash can yesterday.
Yeah, you don't need to show that part.
Yeah, you put her in the trash can, and then you threw your trash can across the room and get the garbage,
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
He didn't even bother with the 5-minute rant before he just went right to the trash can.
Yeah, straight to the trash can.
Immediately.
Put her in there immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I like TK. Like I said, I want to end the whole thing with her.
Right.
End the whole. You know what I'm talking about.
Where's the beef?
I want to end the rivalry. I just want to be friends with her. That's all.
Right. And if it leads to something else, it leads to something else. But just to be friends is fine for now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I like TK. Like I said, I've gone on Battle Angel's show. I've talked with Battle Angel. I've talked with TK. And I've talked with TK on Vixen's stream, and she loves the fact I'm tough. Like, I mean, how I handled that lady who was backstage shows a glass of wine. Like, drink it is protocol. Oh, that's not part of my protocol. Yeah, I don't know you. You're not coming up here. So TK loved that, but even though she didn't see that part, she's like, oh, she loved it that I'm tough. So
yeah. So who are you trash talking today?
I'm thinking let's go ahead and hit Miami.
Oh, okay.
Miami Hurricanes.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Viewer discretion is advised. Parental advisory. If there's anybody here on the panel or in the comment section that needs to go to the restroom or get water, please do so at this time. Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. Well, you've been warned. Buckle your seatbelts, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Okay, well, Miami Hurricanes, it's time for you boys to get your prick asses into the clowning box, take your medicine, eat your crow. Hey, Miami Hurricanes, no buffet for you. Well, Miami Hurricanes, you've been in the ACC for 19 years. You have yet to win it, and you wonder why you can't win it. Well, let's see. Look at your spring practice. I can tell that your quarterback holds a cane in one hand and a football in the other. And let's see, your offensive line, which is it probably can't block or tackle, whatever. Your receivers are out running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And this is how your quarterback moves. And this is why, Miami, you're going to be in for a long season. Quarterback moves like this. And here's a 300-pound defensive lineman tackling him. He's sacked for what, 15-yard loss? Oh, my God, that's unacceptable. Miami, you're going to be in for a long season this year because I'm sure that quarterback you got has a cane in one hand and a football in the other. And let's see. And the problem with y'all is I'm sure a lot of your stars went to the NFL. That's obvious. Some of your players probably got arrested. Some of them disappeared into the Bermuda Triangle. Some of them are out running around with a Bible in one hand and a slut in the other. Some of them are out, sleeping with their sisters. Oh, come on. We know that's all true about you, Miami, because you're running around with your 5 national titles, talking about them, which we know is not helping you today. Okay, Florida State has 3 national titles, which is very simple. Hey, when was the last time you saw Florida State running around talking about their 3 natties? Oh, yeah, very easy. Last time I heard about it was 2013. Okay, they ain't talked about it since. Why? Because they're good today. Now, they may not go anywhere this year, even though, I mean, they haven't. They are improving. They are improving. So, I will agree with Uncle Lou on that one, that they probably won't go anywhere today. I'll agree. So anyway, Miami. Oh God, you're. Here's the thing with you, Miami. I don't understand. Why are you out running around talking about your 5 natties? Oh, I know why. It's because you suck today. That's why you're running around talking about your 5 natties. Because you suck today. Okay, you're not gonna win the ACC and national title this year. Okay. Whoever wins the ACC national title wins it. Okay. So Miami, I'm going to tell you this: the only way you're going to win the ACC national title this year is if you plan on kissing the asses of every ACC team's athletic director, and you also plan on doing what Pat Fitzgerald did to get his ass fired. Yeah, you have to I don't know. Have here's your event. This is how you could win the ACC national title. Here you go. All right, now what we're gonna do is all the juniors and seniors line up, pull your pants down, corner that freshman in the locker room, wave your PPs around like this, whee, and go basically dry hump them or hump them, and just do something like that.
Jesus Christ.
This is why we don't win the oh, this is terrible. That's
wow.
See, that's the only way you're gonna win the ACC and national title. Unless that happens, yeah, do what Pat Fitzgerald did. Maybe you'll win it. Oh, could you see Miami doing that on campus? Oh, how funny would that be? Oh my God! Imagine running around with Bible in one hand and a slut in the other, trying that stuff. Oh, how would that look on your record, Miami? It'd look terrible. Because Miami, guess what? You garbage. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my. Oh, you see Miami? Do you see it? Miami Hurricanes. God. No wonder why your spring practice was so terrible. My God. Now we know why you're going to be in for a long season. You're too busy sleeping with your sisters, just like Alabama does. We all know that's true. Yeah, the same thing's going to happen. A lot of your players getting arrested. Some disappear into the Bermuda Triangle. Oh, that's just how it's going to be for you, Miami. So have fun this season. Because you could end up going, 2-12 or something. Yeah, it's just not going to look good for you because my Knowles are going to beat you this year. And that's the bottom line because I said so, you stupid prick.
Now, I always forget that Edward is a Florida State fan.
Yeah, he rarely mentions it.
Yeah. So what do you think about the rumors of Florida State leaving the ACC and going to the Big Ten?
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I haven't heard anything about Florida State even doing that. I mean,
you're not on Twitter, though, are you, Edward?
If that does happen, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna. Huh? No, I'm not on Twitter. No. Well, not really. I don't really do anything on there. I might have made an account on there, but I don't really do anything. So,
well, you don't have to be on Twitter. Are you subscribed to Pigskin Pete?
Oh yeah. Oh, not on the Twitter. On the YouTube, I am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, Edward. Thanks for coming on and clearing all that up, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. As far as yeah, like I said, I'm still willing to, buy you lunch, Lou. It's coming to my neck of the woods. We can hit Dunwoody Tavern. You could, if you want to come the 12th or the 19th. I don't know if those were on your mind, those two dates, or yeah, I'm happy to buy lunch.
Yeah, I'll tell you the same thing I keep telling you every 100 times you bring that up. If I'm ever up that way, I'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fine. If you come up, just let me know.
All right, Eddie. Thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll talk to you next Monday.
All right.
Thanks, Edward.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I'll let Sea-Dog know that you're going to violate his slot tomorrow night.
There you go, Edward the trash talker. He was on one today. He was on one today. So, Peter, you gonna make us wait till tomorrow, or what do you think is will Clemson be in the ACC in 2024?
Yeah, I have no idea about that. What I'm more concentrating on is the grant of rights because that's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, with all the lawyers on Twitter and whatnot. I happen to know a contract lawyer, pretty good one. So, but the grant of rights might actually be the easier thing to deal with, other than the buyout. The buyout might actually be the more difficult thing.
Well, I heard the buyout is only $120 million.
Yeah,
I mean that's a lot of money, but I mean that's not $120 million wouldn't make it undoable ever. Like that's something, and that means it goes down a little bit each year, I'm assuming. So if it's not 2024, it could be 2025 or it could be 2026. But if the only thing in the way is $120 million, that can be paid at some point before 2034.
Yeah,
and that's the deal to get out of the TV contract. But I don't think there is no monetary amount attached to the grant of rights, right? If that's going to be gotten out of, this is my understanding. If the grant of rights is going to be gotten out of, either the ACC has to dissolve as a conference, or member institutions have to go to court and fight it. Is there a third way?
Well, there's actually two more ways. Well, the main way would be they don't have to get out of it at all. Look, the way that the grant of rights reads, it's a three-way deal. It's not a two-way street. I know people like to think of it between the members of the ACC and the ACC itself. There's a third party involved, and that is ESPN, which is why all the people that talk about why would Clemson and Florida State go to the Big Ten instead of the SEC? Well, the reason is because the Big Ten is broadcast by Fox, not ESPN. The way that the grant of rights reads is that any team that leaves the ACC is responsible to give any TV revenue that they generate when they have a home game on their campus. So that doesn't include neutral site games, and it doesn't include, in this case, if Florida State was to go to Ohio State and it's broadcast on Fox, the ACC would not get any of that money. So that eliminates half of the games right there, roughly, right? 6 games or so. The other part of it is Fox doesn't have a grant of rights deal with anybody. So Fox isn't beholden to give any sort of money to the ACC based on anything that Clemson or Florida State signed. So at the very worst, Clemson or Florida State would have to give up whatever TV revenue they have from any home games from now until whatever it is, June 29th of 2036, I think it is. But the money that they would make by just being in the Big Ten would more than make up for that loss of revenue for those 6 home games. So I think that's the reason that Florida State and Clemson are talking about the Big Ten and not the SEC.
Yeah. I thought the grant of rights was just between the member schools and the ACC, and then the TV deal was between the ACC and ESPN.
Yeah, I think so ESPN is involved in the deal, and I feel like, and I don't know this. This is just the way that I'm understanding it, is that ESPN, whenever they entered themselves into this deal with the ACC, was probably hedging their bets that most likely, if anybody leaves the ACC, they're going to go to somewhere where ESPN broadcasts their games and not to the Big Ten, because it just doesn't make sense, on paper for a Southern team in the ACC to go up into the Midwest to play football. And I don't know. Look, here's the other thing too. If Clemson and Florida State both do leave, there might not be an ACC conference for very much longer anyway. So if the ACC conference completely dissolves and goes away, then it's all null and void anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. The grant of rights would go away if the ACC went away. Yeah.
Right.
Now, what about AAU?
Meaningless and pointless.
Okay. So the Big Ten's just going to do away with that requirement that they always had?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, if they want those two teams, I mean, it's not a U.S. law or anything.
No, I know that. Yeah. I don't even think I don't even think it's like written down anywhere in some sort of Big Ten bylaw or anything. I think it's just it's just a preference that they have, I think.
Right.
And so far, it's just that they've chosen to only accept AAU member schools. I don't think it's like in the Big Ten chart. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not because I don't give a fuck about the academic side at all, and I freely admit that. So I don't know, but like I don't think it's like in the Big Ten charter that you have to be AAU to be accepted into the Big Ten. Someone's talking about Nebraska. They were AAU when they were accepted. They lost AAU status after they were accepted. But yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I think it's more of a preference. But when you look at what's going on with all the other conferences, with with the SEC and mainly and the Big 12, and the Pac-12 obviously is losing members.
Right.
The AAU is like down like 60th on the list of issues. I just don't think that comes into play at all, really. I mean, I don't think that the Big Ten is going to be like, you know what, we're not going to expand to keep up with the SEC and the Big 12 because there's not enough AAU members. It's all about the money.
Right. And what's the deal with August 15th? Why does everybody think that something's happening on or before that day?
Yeah, I have no idea. That is weird.
Someone told me it has to do with the fiscal years. How the fiscal years run in college, and that any decisions that could affect 2024 in any way have to be decided by August 15th. But I don't know.
I don't know anything about that. You know what the August 15th thing reminds me of? You remember the Mayan 2012, December 31st, 2012?
Yeah.
All those people running around.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. I have no idea what August 15th has to do with anything. And actually, what I've been hearing more of in the past couple of days is that by the end of this week, so I don't know if it's the end of this week or the end of the week after, or the week after that. Hell, I have no idea.
Someone in a comment says August 15th is the deadline for teams to leave the ACC. So when then... Like, if you think of it as a transfer portal with an opening date and a closing date, well, then when then would be the opening date again for someone to leave the ACC? January 1st, April 1st, March 1st? What?
So I guess August 15th would be the day that they can leave if they wanted to join the conference in 2024. But that's just assuming that if they did leave, that they would join in 2024. And that's the other thing, too. There's been no indication of that. I mean, even when Texas and Oklahoma left, it wasn't the next year, right?
Well, when Texas and Oklahoma left, and now Southern Cal and UCLA, they're leaving because it coincides with the end of their existing TV deal.
Right.
Which makes me wonder how it is that Clemson and Florida State are smart enough to get out of a 10-year TV deal, but Texas, Oklahoma, Southern Cal, and UCLA weren't smart enough to get out of a 1-year TV deal.
Yeah, I'm not even claiming that if they did that they would be trying to get out of it. I think that they'd be trying to make it work even by still being under that contract.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The grant of rights is the other difference because Texas and OU and Southern Cal and UCLA didn't have some sort of weird grant because basically what Clemson and Florida State and every ACC team did was grant their TV rights to the ACC through 2034 or 2032, whatever the year is, and the other conferences don't do that. So I don't know.
It is interesting though that Florida State they were the ones leading this charge. And as far as I know, really, I don't even know how Clemson got brought into this, other than just people speculating about it, or maybe it got leaked out. I don't know, because this was all about Florida State. Clemson got thrown in there, and now Oregon and Washington somehow got thrown in there.
Yeah.
But Florida State's the only one that I know of where their athletic director actually came out publicly and stated that we feel like we can leave the ACC on a 2-year plan. So in other words, it's going to take 2 years to do it, but we think we can financially do it. Now, I have to believe that if they are willing to come out and say that publicly, that they have actually looked at the numbers. And now, again, they're not going to show their hand and say how they're going to do it.
Right.
And that's where people like us come in and try to speculate how they can do it. But I mean, I have to believe if they say that there's got to be some kind of fire where that smoke is. Now, whether they're able to do it or not, I don't know. But I do feel like that they're looking to get out.
Yeah. The other thing I question, and this part of this is I'm just the skeptical nature of me or whatever, but there wasn't 100 people running around Twitter a week before Southern Cal and UCLA left for the Big Ten saying, hey, guess what? I know the chancellor's niece and Southern Cal and UCLA are leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten next week. Nor was that the case with Texas and Oklahoma, nor was it the case with Colorado. But what the things that are being said about Clemson and Florida State, I heard them about Oregon and Washington last year. They're still in the Pac-12. I've heard them about Arizona and Arizona State. They're still in the Pac-12. It seems like all the things that you hear about all the time don't happen. And whatever does happen completely comes out of the blue.
That is true. But going back to what I just said, and again, I'm not throwing Clemson in this, but as far as I know, none of those universities came out publicly and said they were trying to leave, like Florida State did. So that's the only difference. So I think that's probably has a lot to do with it. Now, as far as the Oregon and Washington thing go, I have no clue where that's coming from. But for some reason, those 4 teams are lumped in together. I don't know where that originated from.
Yeah. I heard Oregon and Washington were kind of offered membership to the Big Ten, but at a reduced rate. What
do you mean by that?
Well, so the conference gets, the conference signs, the conference is who signs a TV deal with a network.
Right.
So I'm just going to use round numbers to make this easy. So okay, there's 16 teams in the Big Ten. So let's say the Big Ten signs a $16 million TV deal with whatever network. So at the end of the year, the network pays the Big Ten $16 million. There's 16 teams in the Big Ten. Each team gets $1 million. The ACC is the same way. You remember when Florida State and Clemson wanted a higher percentage of the revenue? Than the other schools? Well, I heard that the Big Ten offered Oregon and Washington a smaller percentage of revenue versus all the other schools in the Big Ten. So it wouldn't be split evenly everyone else would get $1 million, but Oregon and Washington would only get $750,000. And so they're trying to negotiate for a full percentage. But I mean, I don't know, you hear so much stuff. And then I wasn't looking for this stuff on Twitter, but so many people are talking about it on Twitter, and I follow so many football accounts on Twitter that it started showing up. And so then I start doing Twitter searches, and it's just a never ending. I had to stop. It's just like everybody knows the exact date when every team is going somewhere. Somebody on Twitter can tell you the exact date when Oregon's going to the Big Ten and how much money they're getting and who they're playing. And I got to get off of here.
Yeah, I don't pay any attention to those specific details. The only thing I've been paying attention to is the fact that Clemson and Florida State are looking to leave the ACC, and that they're targeting the Big Ten, or the Big Ten's targeting them.
Yeah.
all that other stuff, in my opinion, is just noise at this point. And you know how shit. It's like 4chan on Twitter or Facebook. So I mean, people get carried away, but like I said, when you actually start looking at the actual grant of rights deal, you can understand why the Big Ten would be the one that they're targeting instead of the SEC. It does make a lot of sense. And these contracts, a lot of them, there's so many holes in them. It's like Swiss cheese. And it is possible that the ACC is the one that screwed up here and not the teams that signed the deal. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Seems to me like a court case is coming. If they really want to get out.
It might not even come to that. I mean, it could. I mean, it certainly could. But it might not even come to that.
And what has to happen to dissolve the ACC totally as a conference? Is it half the teams just show up in a room and vote yes, or is it half plus one team? Because was there 14? So there's got to be eight of the 14.
Yeah, and the last I heard is that there was already 7 on board.
Does Notre Dame have? Would Notre Dame have a vote in that?
Yes, they do have a vote, which is crazy, but they do.
So they could vote to dissolve a conference. They're not even. I guess because if the ACC dissolves, that doesn't only affect football, and Notre Dame's fully in the ACC and other sports, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're in every sport except for hockey. I think they're in the Big Ten in hockey.
Right.
They're in like 3 different leagues.
So like basketball, though, they're in the ACC.
Yeah, basketball, baseball. I don't know what all the other sports, maybe softball or something. I don't know, but I know in hockey.
I guess I get why they get a vote then. Because we always think about everything from a football point of view first, and I sometimes forget that there's even other things involved in all this, but there is. So it would have to be 8 of the 15 people in the room, because it would be 14 school presidents and then the Notre Dame school president. It would have to be 8 of those 15 vote to dissolve the ACC, and then the ACC would go away as a conference.
Yeah.
And if there's no ACC, then there's no grant of rights.
It doesn't make much sense to me why Notre Dame would vote to dissolve the ACC if they're not planning to join a conference.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's their only affiliation. Now, if they are planning on joining a conference, then it would make sense. But it wouldn't make any sense.
The rumors about having 6 or 7 teams on board, is Notre Dame one of those 6 or 7 that's been rumored to be on board, or no?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. What are the teams? Do you know? Is it mainly the football, like Miami, Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, and the Virginia schools?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess anybody who would vote yes for that would be voting yes with the assumption they have somewhere else to land. That's the holdup for some of the other teams that maybe are hesitant to vote yes, is they're worried they may not get an offer from somebody.
Well, I mean, that would be the assumption. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would vote to get out of a conference if they don't think there's anywhere that they can land.
Right.
I mean, other than the fact let's say that you're Georgia Tech, that maybe you feel like if you're one of the leftovers, you'll get swallowed up by the SEC.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know why anybody would do that.
It's going to be interesting because I do feel like the Big Ten would have some interest in maybe gaining a foothold in the state of Florida for a lot of reasons. And then, of course, Clemson is the powerhouse football brand right now of the ACC. So I can understand why those 2 teams are the ones that keep getting talked about the most with the Big Ten.
Yeah, from the Southeast perspective, that they get in that, and that's the other thing too. You got the TV markets, right? So you get the Southeastern TV market. They've already got UCLA and USC on board, so that covers the West Coast market, and then you've got what's rumored to be Oregon and Washington. That's the Northwestern market. So if that were to all come to fruition, which is a big if, I get that, they would have virtually the entire country covered for TV markets.
Yeah. Recruiting too, because if you're some random Big Ten team, you can go into the state of Florida to recruit now and say, hey, twice while your son is here, we're going to play a game here. You know, you can come see your son play in the state of Florida. You don't have to travel to the Midwest to see your son play a football game twice, you know, at least twice, maybe more, while your son's at our school in Michigan. He's going to play a game in the state of Florida against Florida State or whoever.
Yeah, and some of the potato comments I get just from the videos I did today, some guy on there, or not just one guy, multiple people. Well, why would Clemson want to leave the ACC? They're going to a 12-team playoff. They're guaranteed to get in the playoff every year, blah, blah, blah. They won 3 national championships. It's like, are you not watching what's going on? The ACC is about to be left way behind. So what happened back in 2016 is completely irrelevant to what's going to happen in 2026. The amount of money that Clemson will be losing by staying in the ACC and Florida State will be losing by staying in the ACC as opposed to jumping ship and going anywhere else, mainly the Big Ten, they won't be relevant.
Yeah.
You just cannot compete in today's environment if you're literally $80 million in the hole to the other conferences.
Yeah, the problem is, and you know, the SEC made this same mistake to a lesser degree, but the problem with the ACC is not only did they sign a contract that doesn't include enough money, they signed it for way too long of a length of time.
Yeah.
So, and now the SEC is getting a lot of money, but they also signed their contract for way too long. I don't think the SEC should have signed a contract that long either. But because you know what's happening, it's like I made this analogy somewhere earlier today. It's like quarterbacks in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is making more than Patrick Mahomes right now. That's ridiculous. That's insane. But Jalen Hurts' contract came up this offseason. Patrick Mahomes didn't. So Jalen, you know how this thing works. So Jalen Hurts gets the biggest contract. Well, when the next big quarterback, when their contract comes up next year or the year after, then they'll pass Jalen Hurts. It's the same thing. And so the Big Ten's the most recent conference to sign their deal, so they're making the most money. When the SEC's contract comes up in 2030 or 2032, whatever contract they get will surpass the Big Ten. And then when the Big Ten redoes theirs, and whenever it is, it'll surpass the SEC again. It's going to be a back and forth thing until these people are making billions and billions of dollars. It's just getting out of control. But I'm going to go on record and say I don't think anything's happening. I think Miami and Clemson and Florida State will both be in the ACC next year and the year after that and the year after that.
So I'm not. I don't know. But I want to go on record as saying that I hope that they aren't in the ACC in 2 years. I'm not going to say next year, but I'm going to say by 2025, I hope that Clemson is not in the ACC anymore. And based on what's going on with the grant of rights and how the TV deals are tied in with ESPN, I think the only really viable option for them to get out of it would be to go to the Big Ten because that's a Fox affiliated conference.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're not out in the next couple of years, then I think that Clemson and Florida State fall to the wayside. Not that they won't be good football programs, not that they don't have top 10 teams, but as far as being a national championship contender on any given year, their chances go down by a lot after that time, just based on the amount of money that's going to be generated by the bigger quote unquote super conferences.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like to go to a game in Ohio State, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah. 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 You got screwed out of. You got screwed out of your trip to Notre Dame.
Yeah,
right? Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you may get another chance to make that trip if Notre Dame stays in.
Yeah. Well, if everything goes the way I hope it does, then Clemson and Notre Dame won't be in the same conference unless Notre Dame joins the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would love to go there. I mean, listen, that's the other thing too. Imagine when your conference is spread out from the East Coast to West Coast like that. And I know Notre Dame fans say, well, that's the way it's always been for us. We play everybody on every coast, and north, south, east, west. Yeah, but you're right in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
to travel from South Carolina to Washington or Oregon or California, it's already expensive enough to go to a football game. When you add in air travel and all that, I mean, it prices most football fans right out of traveling to away games.
Right. Yeah. Well, or you really, really have to pick and choose one a year, or I mean, everybody's got a different financial situation, but like your average SEC fan can get in their car on a Friday and be at any SEC game on Saturday and then be home on Sunday. That's not going to be the case if you have to drive to Ohio or Michigan or
Now,
Southern
look, the
Cal.
ACC's already spread out. I mean, there's teams in Boston, right? Kentucky.
Yeah.
But the majority of the games, if you want to go to an away game as a Clemson fan, are within a 3-hour drive. If you live in the Carolinas or in Georgia, you know what I mean? So, but none of that matters anymore. It's not even about the fan anymore. It's about TV revenue. That's all that matters.
You think it's ever going to get to a point where it becomes mandated by somebody, whoever that ends up being? Because the NCAA is just about done with football anyway. So if it's some sort of like college football commission that's made up of whoever, or a college football commissioner or a board of trustees or something, where the financial part of it gets equaled out across the board, not just within each conference, but like how the NFL has a salary cap. Is that ever going to happen, or is
no.
No.
Well, at least not anytime. Not in our lifetime. I'd be shocked if it did. Yeah, I don't see that happening. It's
because the next thing coming is revenue sharing with the players, and that's going to create an additional problem. Because if you're a high school, talking about Clemson's problems with what they make TV money wise. Okay, so if you're a high school kid and revenue sharing becomes a thing for college football players, that means you're going to go to Clemson, and as a football player, you're going to make $100,000 a year. Or if you go to the SEC, you're going to make $200,000 a year. Or if you go to the Big Ten, you're going to make $300,000 a year through revenue sharing.
Right.
And that'll really create. NIL, I guess. Well, even without NIL, we've lived in a world where one school has all these facilities and all this and that, and some other team's got a cow pasture and an old weight room or whatever. So it's never really been equal. But I don't know. Professional college football.
Well, it's definitely heading more towards being professionalized, which I think we all knew that.
Yeah.
When the NIL happened, and now with the conferences gaining more and more teams, it's the playoff structure. And I said this on my video earlier. If you do end up at some point with 2 or 3 quote unquote super conferences, the playoff is going to expand massively after that. It's not just going to be 12 anymore. It's going to go to 16 or 24, maybe in 32. Hell, who knows? And again, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
So now, is that a good or a bad thing? I mean, I'm more of a traditionalist as far as that goes, but I'm also willing to adapt to the changes. I don't want it to become professional football, but I can also see the positives. And I mean, how exciting would it be if you had Oregon, Washington, Clemson, and Florida State in the Big Ten, and then you add, I don't know, another 2 or 3, 4 teams to the SEC, whether they come from the Pac-12 teams or, the ACC teams that are left over. I mean, some of the matchups that would be created on an annual basis would be epic.
Well, it wouldn't be annual. There's too many teams, but every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Mrs. Pete says, I hope Georgia loses to LSU, Bama, and Vandy. I hope Mrs. Pete learns about college football scheduling. Because Georgia only plays one of those teams. So
she's good at contracts, but not scheduling.
Yeah. But shout out to Mrs. Pete, though. Well, I guess we're in to hurry up and wait till August 15th and see what happens. Doesn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to set my timer for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are y'all's plans tomorrow? Anything?
I don't know. I think we're hanging around here tomorrow. And listen to this. I think on Wednesday, Mrs. Pete talked me into this. Now, I don't know how she talked me into this. This is some Slim Shady type shit. She wants to go on an airboat ride in the Everglades. Yeah. Now, look, I like the outdoors as much as the next person, but isn't that like the most dangerous place on the planet, other than like the Serengeti in Africa? I mean,
yeah, but it's kind of hard to sympathize with you on stuff like that when 3 months ago you were willing to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Well, I still am, but there's no alligators or anacondas in the sky, as far as I know.
Yeah, so you wouldn't jump out of a perfectly good airplane into the Everglades?
Hell no.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. To me, I don't know. I you're right though. It does sound crazy, but to me, volunteering to enter yourself into the most dangerous place on the planet and jumping out of an airplane are two different things.
Yeah.
You know.
I hear you.
Yeah. I mean,
when y'all drove down there, is it I-95 the whole way?
yeah, like 95% of the way. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we got it. I think it took us off to go around Orlando or something for like 30 minutes. But yeah, it's almost all 95.
Yeah. You prefer that when you drive interstate?
I do.
Me too. I can't stand back roads. I hate it. The speed limit's constantly changing. You never know when the next gas station's coming up or McDonald's or whatever. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and here's one thing I will say about the Florida people. I appreciate their driving style. I was on cruise the entire time. Luckily, we had good weather.
At
right?
about 90 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, I was on cruise at 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right? These people were shooting by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't, there's no slow. You don't have to worry about somebody being slow in the left lane.
Right.
Shit. I had to move over to the right lane going 85.
Yeah, I-95 is a racetrack. It slows down a little bit like when you get into the heart of Jacksonville because it's just so congested. But other than that, it's like the Autobahn. I mean, it's wide open, I-95.
Yeah.
They'll fly
And
past you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because, I don't like, stop and go or slow traffic. So
Who drives when y'all go on trips?
Me.
The whole time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
She can't drive.
Yeah. Okay.
She'll admit she can't drive.
Yeah.
And I can't let her drive because I'll be going insane in the passenger seat.
I'm not a good passenger driver, backseat driver, whatever it's called. I'm terrible. But I also don't mind taking a break from driving every once in a while. You know what my problem is? If I sit in the passenger seat of a car for more than about 10 minutes, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Like it puts me right to sleep.
That's the only reason I'll pull over and let her drive if I get drowsy or something and tired and I need to take a nap. But other than that, I'm driving. It's not even a question. She doesn't ask. I don't tell her. It's just understood. I'm driving.
What do your kids do on a car ride to pass the time? Is it iPads and cell phones?
Yeah, pretty much.
No playing the license plate game like when we were kids.
No, shit.
Parents throw a piece of paper at you and a pencil. See how many license plate states you can write down. Oh, yay.
Yeah. No.
You back there playing tic-tac-toe and shit. That's what we had to do when we were kids. Some of these young people don't know how good they have it on these car rides.
Yeah, and I flex since I'm the driver. I get to choose what's played over the radio. So I'll put on YouTube or a podcast or something.
Yeah. And
they either have to listen to it or they have to listen to something in their headphones.
That's what I do.
Negotiation.
I rarely listen to music when I'm on a road trip. I'll put on a long YouTube video or even talk radio, like the college sports channel on satellite radio. I'll put that on if there's somebody good on or whatever. I rarely listen to music when I'm on a long, like around town or whatever. I'm getting in the car to go out to eat or whatever, I drive over to my brother's house or something, whatever, then it's usually music. But if I'm on a long road trip, it's hardly ever music.
No, thank God for podcasts and YouTube.
Yeah.
It really helps make the drive seem shorter.
Yeah,
If
because
you
I
put on a 3-hour show or something.
Yeah.
You know,
I play weird games in my head. I'm like, okay, it's a 6-hour trip. So if I listen to 2 of these episodes and 3 of that episodes, I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing I do. I got it planned out. I know exactly what I'm going to listen. It's an 8-hour drive. So then before I even leave the house, I've already figured out all 8 hours of what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Before I even leave.
Oh, man. And y'all are gone for a while. I mean, this is like a 10-day trip?
I think it's 12 days.
Wow. Okay.
We're coming back on the 10th.
All right.
So whatever that is. We got here yesterday. Yeah, it's 12 days.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids start back to school Thursday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they go back Thursday. Lou Jr.'s first day of high school Thursday. He starts soccer back tomorrow, not through the high school, but through his club, his traveling team. They start practice back tomorrow. It was supposed to start today, but he had open house, so they canceled practice today because everybody had their open house at their school or whatever. But so
does he have a different league for each season, or is it just the same one?
He's been with the same travel team since he was like 9.
Okay.
And the team stays together every year. So obviously when he was 9, they played in a 9U league, you know. And then the next year it's the same team, but they're in a 10U league. And then the next year they're in an 11U league. And but he's stayed with the same traveling team since he was 9. Now, every year 1 or 2 players kind of fall, you know, maybe they move away, maybe they lose interest in soccer, whatever, and 1 or 2 new players will join, but it's basically the same traveling team.
Yeah, what I'm asking though is there's multiple. It's not just one season a year like a normal sport, right?
I got you. Yeah, it's always been 2 seasons a year, a spring league and a fall league. But starting at this age group that they're in now, it's only a fall league because the high schools don't want you doing both at the same time.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So the travel team takes the spring off, and he'll play for the high school in the spring. Like when he was in middle school, he did both middle school and the travel league in the spring at the same time. That was a nightmare because he'd have soccer practice right after school from like 3 o'clock to 4:30. Pick him up at 4:30, and you just have time to run him through a McDonald's or something before you have to take him to his club practice at 5:30. And then there were some days where he'd have a middle school soccer game on like a Tuesday, and then club practice at 6:30. It was a mess doing 2 leagues at the same time. But in high school, they do away with that. So he'll do the traveling, the club team this fall from basically now through the beginning of December. It'll end in the beginning of December, and then high school soccer starts like around the first week of February.
So is this his first year playing varsity soccer for the high school, or is it?
Well, yeah, because he'll be in 9th grade. It's his first year in high school.
Yeah, I know, but some sports you can start playing varsity in middle school.
Yeah, no, they don't do that here.
Okay.
Not for soccer. Maybe they do it for other sports, but not here. And the high school that he's going to has a pretty good soccer team, so he probably won't. He'll play JV, I'm sure, in at least 9th grade. And then we'll see in 10th grade how good he is if he makes varsity in 10th grade or if he does 2 years of JV.
Right.
But
well,
yeah, he's excited about it.
It sounds like a future Tater man, because I know Georgia doesn't have a soccer team, do they?
No.
Yeah. Well, Clemson's got one of the best in the country, so he might end up going there. What do you think about that?
You know what? It's funny. You probably get asked this too. I've been asked 1,000 times on YouTube, Lou, what would you do if your son became good at a sport and got a scholarship to Florida? I'm like, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I love Georgia's football team, but you're talking about my son here. Like, you're asking me if my son was good enough to play a sport at the college level, would I be mad if it was for somebody other than Georgia? No. I would be more excited about my son being that good at something than I've ever been about anything Georgia related. Like, you know, people who ask that question, I think, don't have kids. Like it's not
Well,
even something I have
they
to think
definitely
about.
don't have kids if they say that, especially if it's a scholarship situation. That saves you $100,000.
Yeah,
at
look,
least.
if my son played whatever for Florida, I'd be at that game with a Florida hat on. It's that simple. And and people would find me and take a picture and post it. Oh, look at this clown. I wouldn't care. I mean, come on. I mean, yes, I love Georgia. There's no doubt about it. But this is my son we're talking about here. Of course, I would support him. But yeah, I've been asked that a bunch of times. But
yeah, me too. I mean, if one of my kids got into South Carolina, so be it. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Hell, I got my a niece and my youngest sister. Both went to South Carolina.
Right.
I mean, they grew up in Clemson household and they wanted to go to Clemson, but it just worked out that they went to South Carolina. And you know what? It's actually fun because whenever we get together, we just, trash talk each other.
Yeah. That's great. Well, what do you say we wrap it up early? You're on vacation. It won't hurt my feelings to knock off a little early.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything else pressing you want to talk about.
No, just pay attention. I'll go through my gold and blue dude spiel tomorrow on the internet.
You're gonna you are doing now. I know y'all had talked about the ACC show being on someone else's channel maybe tomorrow. What's gonna happen with that?
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it. See, here's the thing about Dog. I don't know what his situation is. He's like trying to sell his house. His deal fell through. I don't know if he's living in a camper or in his house. I don't know what he's doing. If it's going to be on, it'll be on his channel. I'm not doing the ACC show. I might be able to call into it for a little while, but I'm not hosting it. Okay. So just keep an eye on Dog's channel at around 7 p.m. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen there.
Yeah. And I know there's no way you're doing the call-in shows this week.
No call-in shows.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
you might do a live show here and there, kind of like you did today, though.
Yeah. That's the way. Right. The midday shows are easy to do because the midday show is about anything, everything, and football, and there's no real structure to it.
Right.
I can just go on there and do whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll try to do those if I can, but all the other shows are on pause.
Yeah.
Until I get back.
Well, people should have already done this, but you're subscribed to Pete. Make sure you do the notification bell thing, even if you're somebody that doesn't normally do that. Do it for the next week and a half on Pete's channel, so that when he does, because it might be hit or miss when he goes live. That way, you won't miss it when he does when he goes live from his vacation.
Yeah, and you might even get to see me getting eaten by an alligator.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's a plus.
That would.
Or a shark, even.
All right. Well, tell Mrs. Pete and the kiddos I said hello. I hope y'all have a great time. I'm sure you will. And we'll wait a minute. Next Monday, is that you'll still be gone next Monday?
I'll still be gone.
Okay. So, we'll just do the same thing. If you're able to come on next Monday, great. Obviously, you're under no obligation. But, if you're able to come on, I'll be here. I'll be doing the show, and we'd love to hear from you.
All right. Sounds great, man.
All right, Pete. Talk to you later.
Later.
All right. All right, everybody. Yeah, I think I will get out of here a little early today. Did the morning show. Did 2 videos today. Wow. 2 videos today. And now the Lunch Money Show, so I don't feel bad if we knock off a little bit early. Hope everybody's week got off to a good start today, though. Hope you had a good Monday. Call-in show tomorrow. Great news about Lou Jr.'s soccer practice this year, too. Last year, Lou Jr.'s soccer practice was from 7 to 8:30 at night, which means by the time we wrapped that up and stopped and got him something to eat or whatever else we had to do, I could barely start the show by 10 o'clock a lot of times. His practice this year is 5:30 to 7. It's either 5:30 or to 7 or 5 to 6:30. In any case, it ends a lot sooner. So the call-in shows will be able to go off without a hitch this season at 9 o'clock like we've been doing. For those of you who've been around for a really long time, you'll remember the only reason I started doing the call-in shows at 10 o'clock at night was because of my kids' schedule with soccer and homework and, back then, getting them to bed at 9 o'clock and all that kind of thing. And they're both high school age now, so a lot of that is out the window. And his soccer practice this year has been moved up a lot earlier. So we'll be able to do the call-in shows at 9 p.m. which is great for a lot of different reasons. Anyway, I had a good time on the Lunch Money Show today. I hope you all did too. We'll do it again next Monday. Call-in show tomorrow night at 9. We'll do it Tuesday and Thursday this week. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good morning.